Hey guys, Mary from SVG Cuts with some brand new projects for fall and beyond. I'm so excited to have some new fall projects. I've been looking forward to these since last fall, I think. I just love all the things that go along with fall, and I'm guessing you probably do too. So I'm really excited about this nice large pumpkin, and it's a lot of fun to put together and also to add the inking and the details with the stem and everything. And I think it would make a really cool gift in itself. You could put something inside it for someone. It could just be a centerpiece or decor. And I also think it would look really cool in white as a ghost pumpkin. You can get some inspiration from pictures of heirloom pumpkins, maybe a green, like a darker green with some little warts all over the top of it, with some like enamel dots or some kind of blingy stuff. So lots of fun. And we also have a nice big bucket bag, and you can make it with or without the sunflower on it, and it could be for any season depending on the colors and papers that you use. So I did put this single sunflower on it, and I had a lot of fun coming up with that and using lots of glitter. I really broke out my glitter stash, which I haven't done in a while, and had a lot of fun adding different glitters to make it look really sunflowery. So I, of course, had to make a wreath out of all of them too. So I made 7 of them, and in your download it's actually really easy to cut out all 7. I kind of broke them down and laid them out so that you just feed your paper in, and nice and easy. So I'm going to show you more details about the wreath here in just a moment, but I got all of the supplies at Michael's, the wreath form and some burlap ribbon, raffia, and I hot glued it with some LED lights, and the berry garland is from Joann Fabrics, but that was also a lot of fun to come up with. I'm happy with how it came out. So we also have a really fun new box card for fall. And if you're not familiar with box cards, the cool thing about them is that they fold flat to go inside their envelope, and then when they pop up, they look nice and dimensional. It's a real wow factor when you give it to someone, but it's surprisingly straightforward to make. So you have all the fun of making it and getting all the wows when you show it to someone or give it to someone. So we also have a cool little coffee pod cart that looks like a little pumpkin fall cart, and I just happened to find some pumpkin spice K-cups on Amazon, and I thought it would be super cute because I did something similar at Christmas time, the holiday time, for a Christmas tree, a Santa, and not a Santa, a snowman, and Rudolph. So I think that would also be really cute with a Christmas theme, or a different theme if you wanted to change it up. So the paper that I used this time, I think, is some of my all-time favorite paper. I still love it just as much as when I first saw it on cherryontop.com. It's by Carta Bella, and it's just gorgeous. Like the texture and the weight of the paper is really nice. I also love the designs, especially this one, and especially this one. I love it, love it, love it. So I also got the 6x6 pad. There's an embossing folder that goes with it and some stamps. So that was so much fun for me to play with and work with. But like I always say, whatever kind of paper you have in mind in your stash or that you want to get is going to, I'm sure, look awesome. So I've got all my pieces cut out to show you how these projects go together. So let's get started. For our pumpkin diorama box card, I've got the front of it laid out here a little bit. I've got this piece, and I went ahead and gently folded these red leaves kind of in half a little bit and glued them on, just with a dot of glue at the bottom of each one. It doesn't really matter where you place them, whatever you think looks nice works. And then I have this piece here, which is going to go right on the front. And I took a brown ink pad. I have a couple like this, and I do this pretty much on almost every shape. It just kind of defines the shape a little bit, no matter what it is, and just makes it look nice. So these are by Colorbox. They're cat's eye shaped ink pads, and like I said, I pretty much put them on the edges of just about everything. So what we want to do is glue this right onto the front, nice and centered. And And then these two pieces here get glued right onto the front. The top one is a little bit wider than the bottom one, and that goes right on the front. I also rubbed some brown ink on the edges, a little bit of that. And then we can put our cute little leaf in place. And on my original card, I sprayed some spray glitter. It's called Glimmer Mist. You can't really see it. I mean, in the light you can kind of see it. It kind of makes it curl up too, which is nice. And then I put some enamel dots on here and there. But if you don't, if you don't want to do the spray glitter, that's totally fine. It's cool, but it's kind of hard to see. And I think it looks nice to rub a little ink around the edges of your leaf. And if you want to kind of crinkle it up a little bit, that looks cool too. And then just put a couple little dots of glue on the back side and glue that. And I think right about here looks nice, as long as it's not sticking too far on, you know, off the bottom or off the side. And then I've got my 5 petals here in my brad. So I rubbed a little bit of brown ink around the edges of my petals, and I'm going to put them on my brad. This is a random brad from my stash. I think it's a Tim Holtz brad that I got from Michael's in a little package. And my really good friend Jackie, her birthday is October 3rd. So I think I'm going to send this card to her for her birthday. That's why I picked this brad. Has a little number 3 on it, which is kind of cute. I'll put this final petal on there. And then put that through the hole in the front and open it up. So there's the front of my card. It looks a little different than my original one, but it's so pretty. It's so pretty too. I really like the way that this design came together. So next we can put our 2 sides into place. And the way that we want to do that is with some glue on this strip. And there's 2 pieces that look like this. I went ahead and put the side panel on, both of them. And they are symmetrical, so it doesn't matter which one you grab first and which side you do first. But what does matter is that this bottom part is lined up here, and then you also want this bottom here to be in line with this other bottom part so that it sits up nice and straight. So here's my other side that's identical to that first side, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to line it up there at the bottom, hold it as it dries, and then kind of adjust it so that it's a nice straight line along the bottom there. And then I can do the same thing with my back panel here. So I went ahead and glued my little sun or moon, whatever you want to call it, back here, and then the back panel with this circle. And if you want to stamp something on there, you can. That's what I did on my original card. And I put this cute little sticker on there and some stamps and a little bit of embossing powder too. I've been getting out all my supplies. Now that my craft room is so nice and organized, I've been more inspired to use my fun stuff like my spray glitter and my glitter and my embossing powder. So again, we just want this to be lined up at the bottom and then nice and straight across. So if you need to adjust it after you get it into place, you can. Just because of the shape of it, you kind of have to make sure yourself that it is nice and straight. And then I can go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. And this one, again, I'm just lining it up at the bottom and making sure that it's going to sit up nice and straight across the bottom, lays flat because of the same reason. And there's the outside of our box card. So the next thing I'm going to do is take this shape here which is just a circle or a pumpkin with an oval cut out of the middle with a panel on top of it. And if you want to take a look at your PDF, you can see how that is laid out, as well as the inserts, which we're going to get to in just a moment. So it's not necessary to look at your PDF really, but if you would like to see how that goes together, which I'll also show you here, you can take a look or not. But either way, I'm going to just glue that right onto the back on the inside. Then I can glue these two pieces into place, and the idea is that it's kind of like a farm field background or like a meadow background. So you can see that these guys get glued just like this. So if you wanted to emboss them, that's what I did on my original card with a striped embossing folder. It's kind of hard to see back there, but I did them in opposite ways so that it looks like a cute little plowed field. And then I also rubbed my brown ink pads around the edges. And I did it kind of messy, and I think it looks really cute. Nice and evenly spaced, and then you can see exactly where this next one goes. Finally, we just need to put our little inserts into place. And I went ahead and put those together. So again, if you take a look in your PDF, you can see how these are laid out, or you can just do it with me here. And insert number 1, it'll have a little 1 marked on it, which your machine will have cut into your shape. So I went ahead and glued my cute little frame onto here. And then for insert number 2, I went ahead and glued my brown fence with my crow on top of it, as well as these 2 panels here, and I inked the edges with my brown ink pad to kind of make them pop more. And then I glued my stem into place and my cute little leaf, which if you want to ink that and crinkle it up, that looks cute too. So it's pretty straightforward putting these inserts into the box card, which goes for pretty much all of the box cards that we have at SVG Cuts. And I just love making them because they look so cool and dimensional, but they're pretty straightforward to put together, which is always nice. So as you can see, I glued this so that it's just underneath the top, and the front of the tab is flush with the front of the box. So it's all nice and perpendicular and glued right inside there. And then before it's completely dry, you just want to gently fold it back and forth both ways to make sure that it's going to fold flat. And then the same thing goes for insert number 2. I can just put some glue on these guys, these 2 tabs, and glue that inside. And you want the back of the tab flush with the back of the box on both sides. And again, before it's completely dry, you just want to fold it back and forth gently both ways to make sure that it's going to lay flat. So when it's time to put it in its envelope, if you fold it like this, it's going to be a little too wide. You want to fold it like this to go inside its envelope. So to make the envelope, I've got my pieces here. And again, in your PDF document, there is a little diagram that shows you how this works. Since it's a large envelope, it wouldn't all fit on one piece of 12 by 12 paper. So it's broken apart into some different shapes. So that kind of gives you a chance to use some more fun patterned paper. It's kind of cool. So this is the main part of the envelope. This is the back of it. This is the bottom flap. And then this is the top flap. So this smaller part is going to get glued inside, and it's shaped like this so that once the envelope is made, it looks nice when it is open, because this pattern will completely show through the top opening of the envelope when it's open. So you just want to glue that right up against the top, nice and even with the top, the corners meeting up. We can glue the 2 sides into place. So I've got my 2 sides here, and they're going to go in like this. So I'm going to put some glue on this tab here. and glue that right onto the side. Nice and lined up there, corner to corner, edge to edge. The same thing on the other side. So now it's starting to look more like a typical envelope, and you can go ahead and fold those sides in, and then we're going to glue the bottom into place. So to do that, you don't want to get too crazy with your glue because you don't want it to completely glue closed, obviously. So I'm going to put some glue just like this, fold that up, give it a chance to dry, and then when we fold our card flat like this, you can insert that in the front, close it up, and glue it down or put a sticker on it or something. So now for our bucket bag, I went ahead and glued in my case, they're ivory panels around the sides of this inner frame, which is made up of these two pieces. And the circle up here is to signify that that's the top, which is also a circle here to signify that that is the top there. So I've got my pretty little scene that I cut out of my awesome paper that I totally love. As soon as I saw it, I had to have it. Love it. And again, it's the Autumn Collection by Carta Bella. And I got mine from cherryontop.com. And I just love every single piece of it. So now I'm going to glue together my little frame by putting some glue down there on that tab and gluing these two together. So it's kind of a fun design. It's kind of dimensional, but not too, it's kind of like a subtle dimension. And we'll glue this side like this. Mine actually, this piece got a little bit chopped off when I was cutting mine out, but I went ahead and said I'll just use it anyway, even though it's not as perfect as it should be. That's just my fault. My paper was off the edge of my cutting machine, my mat. So I'm going to glue the front on by putting some glue on these 4 tabs. And if you want to protect your work surface, you can. I've just got this piece of plywood. I don't care if I get glue on it. But if you want to protect your table or whatever, you can, because you might get a little glue. So basically I'm just centering this nicely on the front, and then I'm going to turn it over and push down from the inside. So then next I've got these 2 pieces that look like this. They're going to go on the top and bottom, and then I've got my 2 sides here, which are going to be like this. So this is how it lines up, and I went ahead and glued these panels into place. In my case, it's this pretty gingham pattern. Oops, that's more like it. That's how they go, like this. So basically we want to glue these together using these tabs. So this inner area is going to get folded up like this, which adds that nice dimension in there. So I'm going to go ahead and glue these 2 tabs into place like this, and then these 2 tabs, and I want this one folded up. And then I'll glue these 2 tabs, and this one is folded up as well. And finally, these two tabs, and this first one is also folded up. So now I want to glue my little framed piece inside just like this with all 4 tabs, and they're folded up towards me. So I'm just going to go one at a time, put some glue on each one, and fold, or just glue that into place like this. So now I've got all 4 of those tabs glued into place, so my little framed front looks super cute. And now I can glue my back into place. So here's my back, and I went ahead and glued this back panel into place. And by the way, how awesome is this paper? It's just way too cute. I love the retro look of it and the colors and everything. So I've got a nice line of glue down the side, and I'll just line it up carefully. And then the same thing on the other side with a nice line of glue, and then bend that around. And I'm kind of holding it in place at the top and bottom while the glue really sets, so that I anchor them together nicely. And then I'm going to set it down and press down from the inside on that long tab. So here's the bottom side of my bag, and I want to make sure that all these tabs are folded over nice and sharply. And then I also kind of want to make sure that these sides are nice and curved, because they're going to be curved with our finished bag. So I'm going to set it up like this, and I'm going to take the smaller of these 2 shapes. There's 2 shapes like this. One of them is a hair smaller, that's this one, and I'm going to put a line of glue down the back side of it and all the way around the edge. If you'd like to protect your work surface, that's a good idea, because we're going to get a little bit messy here. And I'm just working on top of a piece of plywood. It's okay if mine gets a little sloppy. So you just want to set that down inside the top and make sure that the sides are pretty snug. Kind of guide them into place as you press down from the inside. Now you can flip it over and take a look at the bottom. If there are any tabs that didn't quite take hold, you can fix them. And then go ahead and cover the bottom with glue and place the bottom into place. Cover up those tabs and finish it off. Then you can flip it back over and press down from the inside, especially around the edges, just to make sure it's nice and flat. So now we can take our side panels, and I cut mine out of this adorable paper with the cross-stitch pattern on it. I think it's so cool. So this, it's a little tricky to tell which is which side, but the one that has the hole cut out a little bit closer to the left side. See, if you hold them up like this hole is a little bit further over than this one. That's the left side, and that's going to get glued right onto the left side of our bag. So if you want, you can take, to curve your page or your panel, if you want to kind of curve it a little bit to get it prepped, you can. And then cover it with some glue and just pop that right onto the side of your bag with a nice little even border around the sides and the bottom. Then you can go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. Now to finish it off, if you'd like to put some wire through the hole, I just put some wire through and twisted it, looped it around, and did the same thing on the other side here. And then I also wrapped some raffia loosely around the handle as well, and just kind of tied it in a messy little cute knot. So now if you would like to also add the pretty sunflower, let's put that together. For our sunflower, I took one of my brown ink pads, doesn't really matter which one, and I rubbed it around the petal so that it just shows a little bit in the center on the bottom of each petal. And as you can see, your machine will have cut a little number 1 here, so that's piece number 1. Then there's piece number 2, and if you're making the sunflower wreath, your piece number 2 will actually be cut in half, and you'll glue it together just like piece number 3, which is split into 2 pieces. So to glue it together, we'll just put a dot of glue on these 2 tabs just underneath these 2 lines, and there's 2 little lines there to help you glue it together just right. So now you can go ahead and you want to bend it up and also pinch it a little bit. So I'm going to do that all the way around for all 3 of these. Next we can take our leaves, and I also took my brown ink pad, really any brown or green or anything, and I kind of rubbed that around the edges of the leaves a little bit. I think it looks nice. And then we can put some glue on this tab here and curve this around. You can use, there's a little guideline on there if that helps you line it up a little bit. And then if you want to protect your work surface, we might get a little glue all over the place. So we just want to take this circle and put a nice line of glue around the edge, and then place that right in the middle of the leaves. Then we can put a line of glue around number 3, the back side of piece number 3, and glue that right into the center. And this 3 here, if you want, you can line it up with the 2, or if you want to angle it differently, that's fine too. And glue that right in place in the center. And then finally, piece number 1 with another line of glue and lined up on the bottom also. Now for the center of our sunflower, there's 4 pieces that make it up, and I've got it folded like this. This piece actually gets folded down, and I'm going to start by gluing this tab into place like this. And I think it looks really cool to cover it with glitter, so if that's what you're going to do too, you don't have to worry too much about making it so perfect, because you're going to cover up any little imperfections with glitter. So I'm gluing this next piece together like this. And then this next piece together like this. Just a little bit of glue on the edge there. And glue that together. So now what we want to do is glue these 2 together like this. So to do that, I'm going to put glue on a couple of them at a time. And if you want, you can line up this seam with this seam, but it doesn't really matter. And then go ahead and put glue on maybe 4 or 5 more tabs, and just work your way around, lining it up and gluing those into place. So go ahead and glue the rest of the tabs down, and if you need to, you can go from the inside and flip them up and put some glue on there. Next, we're going to glue this other piece into place, and you want it to be like this. And if you would like to line up these seams again, you can, but if you're going to cover it with glue, I don't think it's really that crucial to line up the seams. So I'm going to go ahead and put glue on all of these tabs, and then if I need to add more from the inside, I can always do that. So I'm just keeping it centered and carefully gluing each of those down into place and squeezing it all the way around. Next, I'm going to fold over all these tabs kind of sharply on the bottom so that I can set it down nice and flat. And I'm going to put a line of glue around the edge of the back of this little circle and glue that into place. So again, I'm just keeping it centered and gluing that down. Now here's what I did with my glitter. If you want to do yours differently, you can. I have kind of a mixture of glitter going on. So what I did was around these first two levels of it, I put black glitter, and I happened to I got mine kind of all mixed together, and I think it's going to be fine. But for my original one, I just used plain black glitter around these bottom layers, and I just want to smear it around quickly before it dries too much, and then I can go ahead and pour some glitter on it. Then I put a ring of glue around just the edge, and I poured just some little gold ball glitter just around here. And then I filled in the rest of the center with glue, and I just poured black in the center. So basically it's covered in black with a ring of little gold balls. Cats and glitter do not mix at all, no. So once you have the center of your sunflower the way you like it, you can go ahead and make sure those bottom tabs are folded over nicely, and then you can put a bunch of glue around the bottom of your flower in a circle, and then set this into place and hold it for a little while as it dries so it takes hold all the way around. Then the next thing I did was I put a big fat line of glue around the base of the center. And I know it looks like I'm getting like real crazy and messy now, but then I took some really chunky glitter that is orange, and I poured that all around the center. Oops. And kind of maybe shake it a little bit, give it a chance to take hold and to dry. And then we can go ahead and dump that off onto a piece of copy paper so it's easy to put it back in the bottle. And there we go. Except yours will be filled in the center and even cooler. And of course, one last thing we can do is gently curve these leaves a little bit by gently pinching them in the center. For the sunflower wreath, the sunflowers all go together the same way as the yellow one that I did, but I changed it up a little bit with the glitter in the middle. So I just kind of played around. I looked at pictures of sunflowers, and I just kind of played around with the different glitter that I already happened to have. So anything kind of like brown, orange, black, gold, if you just make different rings of it in the center like I did with the single yellow one, you can play around with it and have fun. So your download comes with it so that it's easy to cut out 7 of them. And that's what I did here. I made it all 7, and then I got a wreath form at Michael's in the floral section, and it's an 18-inch, it's kind of like thick cardboard. It's like MDF wood, which is kind of like particle board. So in your download it says exactly what it is. So I wrapped that with some burlap, and then I also wrapped that loosely with some garland with these berries, some berry garland that I found at Joann Fabrics, just real loosely. When I wrapped the burlap around it, I hot glue gunned it just in place up at the top and bottom. And you don't have to do it exactly the same way that I did it. You could definitely just go with it and do it however you feel like doing it. Then I wrapped some LED lights that are battery powered. I accidentally got hot glue all over it, that's why it looks like that. But they're battery powered. There's a little switch. You can turn them on as a timer. They're from Michaels. It says in your download exactly what kind of lights they are, although anything similar would be cool too. So I hot glued the battery pack onto the top, and it kind of has a little hanger on it, which is handy. And then I also loosely wrapped a whole entire bundle of brown raffia around it. Then, well, actually first I glued all 7 of my sunflowers pretty evenly spaced around, and then I wrapped the whole bundle of brown raffia, and I kind of tucked it in and kind of made it a little messy, which I think is super cool. Next, for our cute little pumpkin cart coffee pod holder, I'm going to put together one of the wheels, and there's 4 wheels obviously, and 2 of them are bigger, 2 of them are smaller, but they go together the same exact way. So I'm just going to put together one of the larger wheels. So to do that, I put my little trim on this one piece here, and then I put my little interior trim on that piece, and then this one gets folded like this, and this one's nice and flat. Then we have the outer part, and then a little brad to secure it. So I'm going to start, and if you would like to protect your work surface, you can, because we might get a little glue all over. So I put some glue on that side tab, and I'm lining it up nicely. And as you can see, I've just got one side folded over. Then you want to gently fold the other side. We just want to gently fold these tabs out of the way so that we can get in there with the next piece. And then I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to glue them together using these little tabs all the way around. So I'll just start with one, put some glue on it, and just carefully line up these little parts together, and then just work your way around and do that for the rest of the little spokes. Next, I want to put a line of glue around this circle, and if you want to work on top of scrap paper, you can, because there's going to be a little bit of crazy glue going on. And then I'm just going to put this face down inside and carefully guide it into place and press down from inside. Then I can take this circle shape and on the back of it put a line of glue around and center it nicely. Give it a chance to kind of take hold, and then also press down from the inside of it. Now we can go ahead and bend these tabs back over, but not too sharply, because we don't want them to be bent too far in and not be able to grab hold with the glue on the next piece. So that's perfect. They're kind of angled up a little bit, but they are down. So we want to glue this into place, and we want to be careful to line up those spokes if you can. It looks even better. And then we'll put a line of glue around the edge of this, as well as a little in the center. And just give it some extra time while it takes hold. Center it nicely, line it up, and then if you'd like, you can even set something kind of heavy on top of it, just heavy enough to press it together without crushing it. Next, for the body of the cart, it is one big piece like this. I went ahead and flipped it over. This is the bottom, and then there's some trim around the sides here, and those holes line up where the wheels are going to go, and then these boards go here. And if you'd like to rub a brown ink pad around the edges, that looks nice too. So this is pretty straightforward. This front part here gets folded up, and then you can kind of see exactly how it goes together, just like this. So we'll just do one corner at a time. We can start at any corner, nice and easy. So I'll put some glue there on that tab and glue that into place. And I'll do the same thing over on the other side. And then I'll glue the front corner into place like this. With some glue on these tabs. And then you can go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. Next, for the insert that goes in the cart, it's one big piece that looks like this, and I went ahead and glued my panel onto it too. And if you look closely, your machine will have cut the letter F right here, which signifies that's the front of the cart, and this is the front of the cart where the handle goes. So if you would like to go ahead and fold it over, you can, and then you can either just set it in there and friction will hold it together, which is totally fine. Or if you would like, once you carefully get it into place, you can lift up on those flaps and put a dot of glue from the inside if you would like to glue those down, which is easier than it sounds, because you can really get in there if you would like and glue those into place. Or like I said, you could just leave it not glued, but this does kind of give it a better shape if you want to. Just go from the inside, put a dot of glue, and glue those down from the inside. So next we can put our little handle together. And here is the long part of it, and there's a long tab on the side, and I will just fold that around, and you can even lay it flat, and then put a dot of glue on these little triangles, and that's going to be hidden, so if it's not perfectly pretty, that's okay. And then same thing with the top part, just a line of glue there, fold it around, and put a dot of glue on those side parts to glue that top flap, that square flap over. Then you can take your two pieces and just kind of carefully wiggle them together. It doesn't really matter which way it's going, although you do want it to be either this way or that way, not so much this way, although that wouldn't be wrong per se. So you're just going to kind of wiggle them together. No glue necessary, it's pretty tight. And then you can put a dot of glue on the bottom of this and carefully wiggle that into place, like so. So if you look, it's kind of angled in. You want it to be angled away from the cart. Dot of glue, and then wiggle that into place. And then if you would like, you can stamp something on this or not. If you want to kind of curve it, you can. And then you want to put a line of glue around it, as well as a short line of glue on the side. And just carefully bend that around and hold it for a little while it dries. And now you should have all 4 of your wheels together, and the small ones go in the front. So you just want to place that on there, put your brad into place, and then open that up from the inside through the wheel. And same thing with the back. So I'll go ahead and place my brad in there, and then from the inside open that brad up, and do that for all 4 wheels. So first of all, for the stem of our pumpkin, it's made up of 8 pieces plus the little top. And your machine will have cut a number into the bottom of each piece. And I went ahead and darkened that in with a marker just for this video so that it would be easier to see. And so basically all we're going to do is glue each piece together side to side, 1 through 8, until we have them all glued together. And to do that, first we want to anchor the first tab there, give it a chance to dry a little bit, and then just work your way up the shape, 1 tab at a time, being careful to line it up as nicely as possible as you go. And if you get to a curved part, maybe give it a couple extra moments for the glue to take hold. And there you go, you worked your way to the top. More straightforward than you would think, which is pretty cool. So even though they're all shaped a little differently, you're going to glue them together just like that, all 8 of them. So we'll do another one together. So I'm gluing piece number 3, and again I'm going to anchor that first one so it doesn't slide out of place. So by that I mean let's give it a few extra moments to dry, and then work your way up, lining it up nicely all the way up that seam. And the cool thing about this is pumpkin stems are kind of gnarly and crazy, so you know, if yours is not quote-unquote perfect, it is perfect because it's going to look just like a nice pumpkin stem. So go ahead and do that for all 8 pieces. So I'm gluing my 8th piece into place here, and now to close it up, we're just going to do the same exact thing we did, and just work our way up the seam, closing it up. So once I've got all those tabs tucked in with the glue on them, and I've got that first one into place, the rest of them thankfully just really kind of fall into place, which is pretty awesome. So I'm going to get a little extra glue on this top tab and do my best to line it up and kind of squeeze it together as it dries. And if you want to get really precise, you could just leave it. Some of these are not quite wanting to take hold in my case here. If you wanted to, you could put a dot of glue, get a straight pin, kind of edge it in there, and then wipe off the extra glue. Sometimes I do that if I need to get glue in a tight space. So finally, we can put some glue on these end tabs here and glue the end of your stem into place. Another thing, if you really want, you could take a little bit of sandpaper and sand some of those edges. That's one thing. And then also, if you would like to rub an ink pad, make it look kind of messy around to accentuate those seams and give it some more dimension, you can also do that. Next, for the lid of our pumpkin, we've got 8 pieces that look like this, as well as 8 pieces that look like this, and we want to glue them together like this. So I'm lining them up nicely. I'm going to glue all 8 together like that. And then I've also got 8 pieces that look like this. So I'm going to go ahead and glue that into place like this. With a slight little bend in it so that it lines up with everything. And when you do that with all 8 of each, you'll have 8 segments like this. Then for each of these 8 segments, I'm going to bend these tabs up. This one can be kind of flat, but these two we want to bend up. And then we're going to glue all 8 of them side to side like this, one at a time. So I've got all 8 segments glued together, and I want to go ahead and take my stem, doesn't matter which way you turn it, and put some glue all the way around it. If you want to protect your work surface, you might get some glue all over the place here in a minute. So I put a nice little fat dot of glue all the way around, and then I want to bend these tabs over and then set it down flat. Then you can go ahead and take this interior liner piece and glue that nice and centered on the inside. And then you can take your leaves, and I also twisted some green raffia around the stem a little bit, and then I put my leaves in place. So I kind of rubbed a brown ink pad around the edges a little bit. You can kind of get a little crazy with them and crinkle them up. I think if you want, it's better if you put a dot of glue somewhere, glue it into place, maybe glue the other one, and then you can kind of play around with the vines and kind of make them more messy and whatnot. So first we have the pieces here. This is for one segment. There's going to be 8 segments because there's 8 sides to the pumpkin. And so there are 8 pieces like this, 8 like this, 8 like this, and 8 like this. So I've gone ahead and glued the bottom here, the bottom piece onto the bottom of this. And then this piece, I have some glue on it by accident already. But as you can see, this piece here, it's flat on the top. It has tabs down both sides and a tab at the bottom. That's going to go on this side of it. And then this piece has nothing on one side, tabs down the side, and that's it. So that's how these are going to go together. So like I said, I already glued. This is a separate piece here from just this piece here. So what we're going to do is make 8 of these segments. So what I'm going to do is put glue kind of quickly all the way down this line of tabs. And if you're not as comfortable with your glue, maybe you're newer to paper crafting and you want to take your time more, you could break it down into some smaller sections. But I'm going to fold this out of the way. So if you would rather do less tabs at once instead of putting glue on all of them, you can, but it's not hard. Just anchor these 2 bottom tabs into place first, give them a few extra moments to dry, and then you just want to work your way up that seam, lining it up as nicely as possible and gluing down 1 tab at a time. So there are all my tabs glued into place. If you want to press down from the inside, at the end you can, it's not crucial. But there we go, there's that connected. and this bottom piece as well can get glued into place. Next, I'm going to anchor this piece onto the bottom here. And then I'm going to put glue on all of these tabs, going all the way up the side. And I'm just going to once again work my way up the seam, one tab at a time. If you've got some extra glue oozing out, you can wipe that away. And just line it up as nicely as possible and work your way up to the top. So now that I've got all 8 segments together, I'm going to glue them together side to side. So as you can see, this whole side of tabs is angled up, and I want to put some glue on each tab all the way down the whole side. So I just want to carefully line it up nicely at the bottom, give that bottom tab and then the next one an extra moment to dry, and then we could even jump up to the top. You can work your way down the line, or you can jump up to the top and anchor that one in place, whatever your preference is. And then make sure that each tab is taking hold inside that seam. So it's pretty straightforward. We're going to go ahead and glue all 8 segments together side to side, and then when you get to closing up the seam, we'll do that. So I've got all 8 segments together, and when I closed up my final seam, it was a little bit, tiny bit more challenging to close that up nicely, but you just reach inside and you just one at a time close it up. So if you need, you can get your glue inside and fix any little tabs on that final seam that might come apart. It just takes a little bit extra time on that final one. And then to put the bottom in place, there are 2 pieces that look like this. You want to take the one that's a hair smaller, put a line of glue around the outside of it, and protect your work surface because you'll get glue on it, and then carefully center that with the glue side down to get all those tabs nice and glued down. Then you can go ahead and flip your pumpkin over, cover this center part with glue going out to these tabs, and glue that final bottom piece into place to finish it off. Then if you want, I think this is a great idea, if you want to take your brown ink pad and rub that around on the edges. That looks really nice, especially if you go heavier with it at the bottom. If you want to go heavier with it at the bottom and just carefully rub it up, you want to rub it all the way up, but heavier at the bottom makes it look more like it's a shadow underneath it and even more dimensional. So I also kind of rubbed it carefully just right up the side, because a lot of pumpkins have some cool looking streaks going up the sides of them. So there you have it, really fun projects for fall. I hope you have a blast making them, and if you do, you'll have to share a picture on our Facebook wall, on your blog, pin it on Pinterest, share it on Instagram. However you like to share, I always love to see, and so do the rest of our crafty friends. So thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time, and happy crafting.